Here's my dad with me when I was a baby. He really loved me. This was in Arizona where I was born. He was goofy, like a lot of other dads, I guess. My dad was a really fun dad. All the kids in the neighborhood really liked him because he was funny and told jokes and would play with us. He was a really good dad. He loved animals. He could always be counted on to help persuade my mom if we wanted another pet. For vacations, my dad took us on camping trips. It was a lot of fun. My mom didn't like it so much. She didn't really like roughing it, but we all still had a really great time. He came from humble roots. He never had any bad words about any race, people, or person. I remember this one time when we all went to New York. We got outside Port Authority, and there was an African-American homeless man, and he asked my dad for some money. My father gave him what was at that time a decent amount of money and called him sir. That made such an impression on me and taught me you treat everybody with respect. We weren't really a political family. My dad was a non-political Kennedy Democrat. But then, when he started listening to talk radio, I saw him change. A lot. You used to consider yourself a Democrat, right?
Yeah, before I knew anything, I had any sense. I was stupid then. I was listening to people and bullshit, and they didn't know what they were talking about. Until then, I was fat, dumb, and happy.
When we moved and he had a very long commute by car, he would listen to the radio on the long drive. Then he started to change.
The feminazis began their quest to make women more like men, dress like us, acquire power like us, have careers like us, all that.
Rush Limbaugh is one of my heroes. I agree with him in politics.
And then his Rush Limbaugh-loving buddy told him he could listen to more talk radio at night with a tiny portable radio and earbuds. But it would still disturb my mother, so he decided to move into the other bedroom. And then it got worse after he discovered Fox News. His new beliefs came first. It was almost like he joined a cult or had a new religion. This went on for years. So I finally decided to make a film to figure it out.
Jennifer, is this your book?
Yes.
He's my hero.
Why is he your hero?
Politically, I agree with him beautifully. I always agree with him.
We knew better than to discuss politics together because it would just end in arguments and bitterness.
I'll never forget, my dad sent me something in the mail. He had put a PETA label on it, and he had taken a black magic marker and rubbed out PETA, like just scribbled it and scribbled it and scribbled it until he almost ruined the envelope and the PETA thing was out. It was just crazy. He was an animal lover. He always was an animal lover. Rush Limbaugh, a champion for the overdog, told him to hate PETA. My parents moved to a senior community, and apparently during the move, my dad's kitchen radio broke. He never got around to fixing it, so it sat in the garage with the other broken radios. My parents started eating lunch together again, but he still watched Fox and still got the right-wing emails and snail mail. When the TV in the kitchen broke, they got a new one, and Mom programmed the remotes. He didn't want to bother to figure out how my mother programmed them, so he just watched whatever my mother watched. One time when he went in the hospital for a kidney stone, she asked me to weed out his emails to save some computer space. When I told her they'd just keep coming, she decided to unsubscribe him from some of the more extreme political emails. But then she got the idea of subscribing him to liberal and democratic ones. But much to our surprise, when he got back, he started reading them. What does he read now?
Truth Out, RSN News, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I've been listening to Rush Limbaugh for quite a few years. I guess somehow got away from it, but before that, I had on all the time the political chatter, you know.
Do you think your political views have changed?
Halfway between Republican and Democrat.
Oh.
I'm not all Democrat. I'm not all Republican.
Do you believe in the minimum wage?
Minimum wage, yes.
Do you believe in personal freedoms? Some people believe that gay people don't have the right to get married, and other people say I couldn't care less, let them get married if they want to.
Well, I guess if they want to do that, they'll go ahead and do it, yeah.
Yeah, that's the way I figure. The other day, he surprised me. President Obama was on, he said to me, you know, I kind of like him. And then later he said again at a different time, I like Obama. I thought, glory be. He's a pretty good guy.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
In these past couple years, there's finally been peace in our house. My dad is more content than I've ever seen him. He's not angry, he's not argumentative, and he's really fun the way he used to be. And we get along really well, and I dote on him. In fact, I get along with him better than I ever have. And it's sort of a bittersweet pill because I know these are his last years, but I'm happy that he's happy. He is my pal, and I'm his.
Pytała się pani młodego doktora, czy lepiej dać rana, czy lepiej wieczora.
These days, with our nation and homes divided, it can be really trying to keep relationships with those we love who've changed. But my mom persisted to challenge her husband, and with love, lots of patience, and a bit of humor, she helped to get my dad and her husband back. It made a world of difference, especially for him. He was once again his old happy self.
It's a mixture of Polish and Ukrainian. I mix them a lot.
You used to be very fanatical?
Yes,
Yeah.
I've listened to them for a long time.
Yeah, but you're not as fanatical as that anymore. So that's what the movie is about how you used to be very fanatical and now you're much better.
I think I'd like to see that.
Yeah, you'll see it, Dad.
Yeah.